Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, father and a 3-month-old infant killed in Westmoreland two-vehicle collision. A father and his 3-month-old infant were killed in a two-vehicle collision on the Waterworks roadway in Westmoreland on Sunday. The deceased have been identified as 22-year-old laborer Ronaldo Curlew and Denario Curlew of Galloway Logwood in Withorn in the parish. Reports are that about 7:30 a.m., Curlew was driving a Toyota Mark X motorcar along the Waterworks roadway when he lost the control of the vehicle and collided with a parked Toyota Axio motorcar. The impact resulted in the Mark X becoming airborne and the child being flung from the moving vehicle. 23-year-old man accused of chasing, fatally shooting man in Westmoreland. A man has been charged with murder after he allegedly chased and fatally shot a man in Geneva District, Westmoreland on Wednesday, June 26. Dead is 20-year-old Joanne Murray, otherwise called Joey. Charged with Murray's murder is 23-year-old Carrie Lynch of Crowder District, Greenhill in Westmoreland. He is also charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and using a firearm to commit a felony. Reports from the Savannah Lamar police are that about 5:30 p.m., Murray was in the company of family members at a shop when a Toyota Axio motorcar drove up. Lynch reportedly alighted from the motor vehicle and approached Murray when he brandished a firearm and opened fire. It is reported that Murray ran from the shop and was chased by Lynch and shot. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Murray was seen in a yard, lying on his back with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was transported to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Richard Curry addresses PNP conference. They will say I'm political, but what they expect me to do? These were the words of the controversial chief of the Accompong Maroons, Richard Curry, as he addressed the annual conference of the People's National Party at the National Arena on Sunday. Curry told the Sea of Orange-clad comrades that the Maroons will no longer accept a violation of our rights and the disrespect, and therefore, we are here today. We journeyed far, and we sojourned to deliver a message. Curry, who has been known to be at odds with the government, said the point is that we have been soliciting a government for 3.5 years, and to date, they have not responded to us. To date, they have not attended one function, and the Marquis G, PNP President Mark Golding, has responded because he has a vim, vigor, and vitality, Curry remarked. The man is a true man. This man is as real as it gets, he added of Golding. According to Curry, the Maroons are here today to deliver a powerful message that for those who think that they can undermine the rights of those who were here 287 years before, we have a sad message to deliver in a few months' time, because the people are tired. He seemed to be referencing what political commentators anticipate could be an early general election. The Maroon chief said issues of poverty and crime, among others, were enough for Maroons and other Jamaicans to unite around. Curry told the PNP supporters that he stood before them not as a political representative, but as a proud representative of Jamaica's First Nation. He said the presence of the Maroons was both a statement and a gesture, as a statement of unity and a gesture towards mutual respect and peace with Accompong Maroons and all Maroons island-wide. Curry told Golding that when the PNP assumes state power, you also have a home in Accompong, brother. Golding speaks out against the public entities that block access to information. Opposition leader Mark Golding has hit out at the public entities that use the Data Protection Act to block media access to how they are using taxpayers' money. I am very concerned about the insidious abuse of the Data Protection Act by state officials to restrict the disclosure of potentially damning information in which there is strong and legitimate public interest, he said at today's People's National Party 86th Annual Conference in St. Andrew. The PNP president pointed to recent cases of Tax Administration Jamaica refusing to disclose $2 multi-million leases, claiming that to do so would breach the privacy law. It later released the names of the parties in the list, but there's been no update on its talks with the Office of the Information Commissioner, which contradicted its stance. The Cannabis Licensing Authority and the Office of the Services Commissions have also invoked the Data Protection Act to block requests for information. Goldin said the questionable use of the privacy law is an attempt to hide information. There is no accountability for non-performance in this Jamaica Labour Party administration, he said. He also argued that the government negligently allows the critical boards and the tribunals to grind to a halt because of failure to make appointments when the terms of the boards expire. He pointed to the Early Childhood Commission, the Access to Information Appeals Tribunal, and the Public Service Commission. He said these instances are examples of the government falling asleep on the job. Peter Phillips slams by-elections as sideshows. Former opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips has dismissed as nothing more than a sideshow talk of by-elections. He has also slammed as disrespect for the Jamaican people the decision by Prime Minister Andrew Holness to be selective in where by-elections are held. He was speaking Sunday as he addressed the public session of the 86th Annual Conference of the People's National Party inside the National Arena. It's a disrespect for the right to representation for the people of South Trelawney and Morant Bay, who have been without representation for extended periods, Phillips charged. Of note is that days after a vacancy arose in St. Ann Northeast, with the resignation of the sitting Member of Parliament, the Jamaica Labour Party's Marsha Smith, with immediate effect, Holness announced a by-election to replace her. Matthew Samuda resigned from the Senate and was nominated on September 11 for the September 30 by-election. He will be challenged by 2 independents. The PNP is boycotting the election. Phillips made the call for legislation reform that he said would cause a by-election to be held in a specified time whenever there is a vacancy. Such a power, he said, should be given to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica so people stop playing and monkeying around with the constitutional rights of the Jamaican people. Holness has stated that other by-elections will be held. The Morant Bay division of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation has been vacant since May this year, following the sudden death of the PNP councillor Rohan Bryan. The death earlier this month of the JLP councillor for the Indian Town division of the Clarendon Municipal Corporation has created another vacancy at the local government level. Additionally, there is an upcoming vacancy in St. Andrew Northwestern, as the sitting Member of Parliament, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark, has been recruited by the International Monetary Fund as a Deputy Managing Director. He will take up the position at the end of October. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.